transferred to Manchester United now.
Football predictions.
If Barbara no, it's restart. One.
Football
Yes, and I'm here with the Moose for another episode of the footballpredictions.net podcast covering German Bundesliga games for the 31st of January to the 2nd of February 2025. And you can see all the details for the matches we're about to discuss in this podcast in the description. Click on the links to footballpredictions.net alongside fixtures from just about every other football competition in the world from A to Z.
Yes, and on our website, it'll show you where to watch the games on local broadcast channels, plus video streaming services, as well as team news and match shots from local bookmakers. Look in the description of this podcast episode for direct clickable links to all of the matches we are about to discuss. If you're streaming any matches on Bet365, geolocation and live streaming rules apply. 18 plus, gamble aware.
And we're kicking off with Werder Bremen, who are in 9th position in the Bundesliga, taking on Mainz, who are 6th. And this one kicks off on Friday night, 7:30 p.m. UK time. This is the 31st of January. And if you go to the clickable link in the description, you'll find your local kickoff time, betting odds, and broadcast streaming options available in your area on footballpredictions.net. And of course, you can stream this one on Bet365. And to qualify, all you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. And when you join, use the bonus code FP365. And I believe this one's also, if you want to pay for a subscription on Sky Sports Mix. Well, Werder Bremen they're still looking for their first win of the year.
Yes, they are indeed. They were at Dortmund last weekend, and that ended in a 2-2 draw. We had both teams to score on our prediction, or our main prediction for that game. But yeah, in the lead up to the Christmas break, Werder Bremen won their last 3 games. They won all their games in December. But like you say, I guess the no wins so far this year. Lots of goals, though, it has to be said. Lots of goals for Werder Bremen. They've actually managed to score 7 goals across these 4 matches, but it's only resulted in 2 draws. But the point at Dortmund was a good one. Their most recent home game was at home to Augsburg. That ended in a 2-0 defeat. And just prior to that, they had a 3-3 draw at home to Heidenheim. So taking on Mainz actually has had a pretty decent start to the year. They started with a 2-0 win against Bochum, probably slightly predictable. We did predict that one. Bochum, obviously, bottom of the Bundesliga. Then another home game last weekend. They beat Stuttgart 2-0 in that game. We had under 2.5 goals as our main prediction. Away from home, it's been a different story for Mainz, and that's also why they may struggle a little bit here at Werder Bremen. They lost both their away games so far this year. They lost 1-0 at Leverkusen. We predicted that outcome. And they lost 2-1 at Union Berlin. So very much a tale of home and away for Mainz. And also, if you do look at their most recent home games versus most recent away games, they actually started the season not winning a single home game from the first 5. But the last 5 home matches, they've all won. That includes wins against Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund and Stuttgart, of course. However, this game, like we said, it is away from home, and they've now lost 3 out of the last 4.
Yes, indeed. And for this game, we've actually gone for an under 2.5 goals prediction. And odds you can get for that are currently 2 at the bookies. And we can't actually separate these two sides either. We've gone for a draw, and quite good odds on the draw. You can get 3.3 if you're interested in that market. And for a correct score prediction, we've actually gone for a bore draw, a 0-0, which no one likes to see, but that's what we think might happen in this one. We've seen Bremen in their last home game didn't score at all. They got beaten 2-0 by Augsburg. And also, if you look at Mainz, they failed to score against Leverkusen. They only scored the 1 goal against Union Berlin recently. So, yeah, we've gone for a 0-0. Odds there are currently 11 or 10-1. And, like I said, no one likes to see a bore draw, but that's what we've gone for. Next up, we've got Stuttgart, who are 4th in the table, taking on Borussia Mönchengladbach, who are down in 8th And this one kicks off on Saturday, the 1st of Feb at 2:30 p.m. UK time kickoff. And for this game, click the link in the description. You'll see a link to your local kickoff time, betting odds, and available viewing options on footballpredictions.net, the website. And of course, this one is one you can stream on Bet365. And to qualify, all you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. And when you join, use the bonus code FP365. Well, for this one, Stuttgart were in fine form. They've dropped some points.
Yes, they have. Stuttgart last weekend went to Mainz and lost 2-0 in that game. We had under 2.5 goals as our main prediction for that one. But actually, in the lead up to that defeat at Mainz, Stuttgart had done pretty well this year. They won all their games, including the Champions League and 3 in the Bundesliga. However, this last week has resulted now in 2 defeats for Stuttgart, because midweek they lost 4-1 at home to PSG, and that was a heavy defeat for them, because that didn't just mean that they lost obviously a game in the Champions League group stage. They also got knocked out altogether. They didn't even make the playoffs. They needed a point from that game. So Stuttgart is now all out of the Champions League. So all focus is back on the Bundesliga, where they're currently sitting 4th, and that's thanks to their little surge in form from December onwards. They had, until they played Mainz, they had 5 wins from 6 games. But yeah, Mainz stopped them in their tracks last week. They're meeting a Gladbach team, opposite story, because Gladbach lost the first 3 matches of the year in the Bundesliga, and they took quite some heavy beatings as well, because they went to Wolfsburg and lost 5-1, and they went to Leverkusen, lost 3-1, and they lost at home to Bayern Munich. We predicted all 3 outcomes, and guess what? We also predicted that Gladbach was going to get back on track last weekend against Bochum. We said they were going to win that game 2-0. It ended 3-0 Gladbach, and therefore Gladbach is back on winning track here. And if they want to connect with Stuttgart and those Champions League spots, they'd want to win here. But Stuttgart away from home is not it's not going to be an easy game. And Stuttgart is in fairly good form here. So it's going to be a tricky test for Gladbach away to Stuttgart.
Yeah, and Gladbach haven't beaten Stuttgart when playing them away from home in the last 6 matches in the league. So that's not good at all. And they haven't also won away from home in their last 2 league matches. So, yeah, we think it's going to be a bit of a tricky one for them, a bit of a bridge too far. But our tip for this one is actually both teams to score. You can get odds there of 1.53. Both of these teams in pretty good scoring form. And I think they've only had 1 match where either of them hasn't scored in the last 6 in all competitions. So, yeah, both teams to score is what we're looking at there. And yeah, for the result, we do like Stuttgart for the home win and to continue on their winning ways against Gladbach, of course. 1.57 are the odds you can get for that at the moment. And correct score, we are going for Stuttgart 3, Gladbach 1, and your odds in that market at the moment are 11. By the way, a draw for this one, you get odds of 4.5, which isn't too bad either. Moving on, let's go to Bayern Munich, top of the table, taking on Holstein Kiel, who are 17th. And this one kicks off on Saturday, the 1st of February, 2:30 p.m. in the UK. And you can find your local kickoff time and betting odds and TV channels if you click the link in the description to this match. It's all on footballpredictions.net, including the streaming. One of those is Bet365. And to qualify to watch that, all you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. And when you join, use the bonus code FP365. Well, the Bayern Munich machine rolls on.
It does, especially in the Bundesliga. 4 wins from 4 in January so far, and they've scored 11 goals as well, Bayern Munich, especially at home. 8 goals from the 2 games against Wolfsburg and Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim, they beat 5-0 in the first home game this year, and then Wolfsburg 3-2. So yeah, the Bayern Munich train, so to say, keeps steamrolling the teams at home. And if we do look at Bayern's home record so far this season, bar the first 2 games, then Bayern has scored no less than 3 goals in each of the last 7 home games. Now, is there reason to believe that Holstein Kiel can stop Bayern in their tracks here? Probably not, because if people or our punters and listeners remember the result from the first fixture between these two sides this season. That ended 6-1 to Bayern Munich at Holstein Kiel. So I'm pretty sure Holstein Kiel will try and prevent that from happening again. But the one issue that Holstein Kiel does have is that they do let in an awful lot of goals, and they really struggle to keep a clean sheet. In fact, they have just one clean sheet all season, and that wasn't away from home, because away from home, Holstein Kiel has conceded no less than 2 goals in each of their away games. So I think one thing is, well, nothing is a certainty in football, but there's got to be goals in this game. It has to be said, though, Holstein Kiel, away from home, despite only having picked up 3 points from 3 draws, have scored in every single away game.
Yeah.
So they are actually managing away goals, and the last away game was last week, and it was at Wolfsburg. It ended a 2-2 draw, so a good point for Holstein Kiel there. They did also beat Dortmund a little bit earlier in January, so they picked up a few good points, but at the same time, they do just tend to concede a lot of goals, and so far this year, across the 4 games that they've played, they've already conceded 10 goals. So, yeah, it's a leaky defense for Holstein Kiel, and that's not going to do them any favors at Bayern.
Yes, exactly. Now, Holstein Kiel, in a way, are a little bit like Tottenham at the moment. They score, but they get scored against,
Yeah.
sometimes by even more. So, yeah, they can score. In fact, do you remember the last game in September last year, match day 3, I think it was, this season? It was Holstein Kiel 1, Bayern Munich 6. So Harry Kane got that hat trick, didn't he? So, yeah, I think this time around, I mean, it's at Munich, of course. We could see something similar. So we've gone for both teams to score prediction, and quite good odds actually for that. You get 2.05. I guess mainly Bayern Munich try and keep their opponents to a 0, especially at home. But they did concede 2 against Wolfsburg, didn't they, in that Bundesliga match on the 18th of January. And maybe this will happen again. So we're thinking that both teams to score 2.05 of the odds. Of course, we are going for the Bayern Munich to win, which is kind of obvious, but the odds are ridiculous. It's almost not worth betting on it. 1.05, so pointless, really. Yeah, so you might try something else, like a correct score prediction, for example, which we have at the moment. Our correct score prediction is 3-1 to Bayern, and you can get odds of 13 on that. So, yeah, you might try some things around that if you're interested. 3-1, 4-1, 6-1. Yeah, maybe a little bit on everything, but yeah, that's quite good odds, isn't it? 12-1 on a score of 3-1. By the way, if you want Holstein Kiel for a draw, you can get 17 odds, and Holstein Kiel to win 29. Quite ridiculous, really. This is only a 2-horse race, but let's see how it goes. But we have gone for the 3-1 home win for Bayern. Next up, our last featured match is Heidenheim in 16th, who take on Borussia Dortmund, who are in 11th place. This one is on Saturday, 2:30 p.m. UK time kickoff. That's the 1st of February. And, of course, click the link in the description and you'll be able to view your local kickoff time and betting odds and broadcast streaming channels tailored to you for this match on footballpredictions.net. One of them that we can see here in the UK anyway is Bet365. You can stream it from them, and to qualify for that, all you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours and sign up with bonus code FP365. Well, these teams haven't really had much to cheer about lately, except Dortmund did get a nice Champions League win, but that's about it.
Yes, Dortmund did go through in the Champions League, or well, not directly through, but they did go through to the playoffs. They finished 10th in that Champions League table with a win midweek against Shakhtar Donetsk. We actually had that Dortmund down for a 3-0 win. It ended 3-1 Dortmund. So yeah, we were in on the outcome there. If we look at the Bundesliga results, that's where there's not a lot to cheer about from a Dortmund perspective at the moment. No wins so far this year. They actually started this year with 3 straight defeats, and then they picked up a point at home. Last weekend against Werder Bremen. That ended 2-2. We had both teams to score as our main prediction for that game. But yeah, just 1 point from 4 games. for Dortmund. That also means they're down into 11th in the Bundesliga, which is obviously quite surprising. And there's quite a gap now between them and the European spot. So they really need to pick up some form here if they want to get back into consideration for Europe this season. They do meet Heidenheim. This is probably a good opportunity for Dortmund to try and pick up some points, because Heidenheim has only picked up one win from the last 14 games. That's one win from 14 games. That was right at the beginning of the year. They picked up that win. That was a 2-0 home win against Union Berlin. We had under 2.5 goals in that game, by the way. Then 2-0 Heidenheim. Heidenheim then went to Werder Bremen, drew them 3-3. But the last two Bundesliga games, they lost 2-0 at home to St. Pauli, which would have been quite disappointing, because St. Pauli is sort of in and around that relegation scrap as well. And that took St. Pauli sort of out of that for a while. And then Heidenheim went to Augsburg last weekend and lost 2-1. So yeah, two teams out of form, but probably Dortmund still being the stronger side. And they will look to see if they can make a bit of a bounce from that Shakhtar game.
Yeah, but of course they have played the extra game that Heidenheim haven't, so maybe there'll be some tired legs. But yeah, we do think it'll be being at Heidenheim, they might score a goal, but we think Dortmund will outscore them. We've gone for both teams to score prediction for this one, and odds there you can get currently at 1.57. As a full-time result, yeah, like I said, we'll think Dortmund will get the win. Odds there you can get currently 1.75. I think that one's pretty... you'd think that would be pretty certain, wouldn't you? And correct score-wise, we've gone for Heidenheim 1, Dortmund 3, and you can get odds of that scoreline currently at 12. That's 11-1 in fractional. So yeah, in our poll on our website, click the link in the description, you'll see it. Borussia Dortmund have 71% of the vote at the moment to get the win. Heidenheim 29%, and would you believe no one wants to draw? No one thinks it's going to be a draw at the moment. So yeah, pretty cut and dry. Let's move on to our summary games now. And we've got Bochum, who are in 18th, who take on Freiburg, who are up in 10th. And this one's on Saturday as well, the 1st of February, 2:30 p.m. UK time kickoff. And find your local kickoff time, game odds, and available broadcast streaming channels for this match. If you click in the description, find the link for this game on footballpredictions.net, and you can watch this one on Bet365. And to qualify, all you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. Sign up with bonus code FP365. Well, Bochum, despite being 18th, have a slightly better record recently than Freiburg do. So for this game, we are going for an under 2.5 goals prediction, and we're going for a draw. We have selected this one as being a ball draw 0-0.
Yeah, moving on to St. Pauli in 13th, who takes on Augsburg in 12th. This game also kicks off on Saturday, 1st of February, 2:30 UK time. And again, you can go to footballpredictions.net to check out all the local kickoff times, betting odds, and broadcast and streaming options available in your area. This particular game you can watch on Bet365, and in order to qualify, all you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. And when you sign up, please use that bonus code FP365. Now for this game, we're going with a St. Pauli win and an under 2.5 goal prediction, because our correct score prediction for this game is a narrow 1-0 win to St. Pauli.
Next up, we've got Union Berlin in 14th place at the table, taking on RB Leipzig, who are up in 5th. It kicks off on Saturday, the 1st of Feb at 5:30 p.m. UK time kickoff. And you can stream this one again on Bet365 to qualify. All you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. And when you join, use that bonus code FP365. I think this one's also available if you want to pay for a subscription on Sky Sports Football. Yes, for this one, we have also gone for an under 2.5 goals prediction, and we like an away win for Leipzig. We've gone for a correct score prediction of Union Berlin 0, RB Leipzig 1.
Yeah, moving on till Sunday, 2nd of February at 2:30 UK time. We've got Eintracht Frankfurt in 3rd, who takes on Wolfsburg in 7th. And it's another game when you can go onto Football Prediction and check your local kickoff time, betting odds, and available viewing options. Now, this game, again, you can watch on Bet365. And in order to qualify, For the live streaming, all you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. And when you sign up, please use that bonus code FP365. Now for this game, we are going with a Frankfurt win, both teams to score, and a correct score prediction of 2-1 Frankfurt.
Yeah, next up we have Bayer Leverkusen, who are flying high in second, taking on Hoffenheim, who are down in 15th. It's on Sunday again, 4:30 p.m. UK time kickoff. And again, it's on Bet365. And to qualify to watch, all you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. And when you join, use bonus code FP365. I think this one's also on Sky Sports Plus. And for this game, we'd like both teams to score. We think it will be a Leverkusen win, though, and we've gone for a correct score prediction of Leverkusen 2, Hoffenheim 1. And just a reminder that if you are going to live stream any of those games on Bet365, use that bonus code FP365 when registering. And as I mentioned, just to qualify, all you need is funds in your account, so anything in your account, or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. Geolocation and live streaming rules apply. Full details are available on the Bet365 website. 18 plus, gamble aware.
Yes, and in the description area of this podcast, you'll find links to the fixtures we've just covered, or just go directly to footballpredictions.net. That's where you browse the online sources to watch the games from your location, my streaming and TV channels, our predictions for different betting markets, as well as best offers and odds.
And do know that we record football podcasts across several competitions in addition to Bundesliga, and you can hear them all at podcast.footballpredictions.net or where you normally access your podcasts from, including Apple, YouTube, and Spotify. Well, that's it for this week for the Bundesliga. Thanks for joining us, and until the next time, it is.
Tschüss.
Bye-bye now.
A third bird predictions.